at South by Southwest with Rachel Garb, who talked about Android principles from Google. And can you tell us, Rachel, what are the three major principles behind Android at the moment?
Well, our design principles fall into three main categories, which are enchant me, simplify my life, and make me amazing.
Enchant me. How do you do that? What features can you tell us about at Android which follow that principle?
Well, enchant me is about filling the user with joy, and you can do that through slick animations and really beautiful visuals and just a feature that they didn't expect that just makes them smile.
Yeah. And you really went to explain that, going from marriages, where you need 5 times more positive emotions than negative to be happy. How is that with your phone?
I think it's
the ratio.
I think it's a good ratio to strive for because people are with their phones almost as often as they're with their partners.
Much more. They spend much more quality time with their phone than with their partner.
Yeah, and they rely on them for so much. So we really think that 5 to 1 is great to shoot for.
How do you measure something like that?
Well, one way we suggest it's a kind of a rudimentary exercise, but put marbles in a jar and have a jar for positive and negative, and anytime you excel at you trigger a positive emotion, put one marble in the positive jar. But every time you fail or you trigger
same with a wedding.
You have to put 3 marbles in the negative jar because the research shows that for every negative emotion that you experience, or you need 3 positive emotions to lift.
And one negative is, are you sure?
Oh, yeah. One of our pet peeves over on Android is dialogues that ask, are you sure? Because it just places blame on the user by presuming they didn't think something through.
Simplify my life. How did you get that integrated?
Oh, simplify my life. There's so many ways. Just keeping it brief. Don't waste the user's time. A big one is decide for me, but let me have the final say. And that's what settings are all about. But
so delete the file, but let me undo it.
Things like that. Yes. Or just don't ask, are you sure so much? Just come up with smart defaults, implement them, and then have ways that users can override them or not get in trouble.
And the third one, make me
amazing.
What is a good example of that inside Android?
Make me amazing is so there's one that has to do, we call it it's not my fault, and that's we talked about that a little earlier, placing blame on the user. Another big one is do the heavy lifting for me, and this is just like make things that are so cool I want to show them off to my friends and are just like I can do things I just never thought I could before with a phone, like unlocking a phone with my face. That's a great example of do the heavy lifting for me. No longer do I have to enter a password.
Or if you're in San Francisco, get the background of San Francisco in your Google.
Yes, right. Yeah, Helena, my presenting partner, gave an example of in Google Now, the banner that appears at the top where the search is, it changes based on the time of day and where you are. So if you're in San Francisco at night, you'll see, beautiful San Francisco skyline.
Yeah. Now, Google is a total engineering company, so you basically are 2 designers, a part of a team, but it's always been a problem to get design into Google. So why did that work inside Android in a reasonable way? Because it looks beautiful.
I think just in general, the industry is waking up to the fact that user experience really matters. More and more technology is a part of our lives, and as technology is more a part of our lives, the bar has been risen, and I think people who work in technology recognize it, and they know that the way to do it is to have people who focus full-time on design instead of making it sort of like a little side project for engineers.
So it's becoming really important, and the engineers are paying attention.
Absolutely, yep.
Okay. Where can I find, you are a technical writer. How did you get into design?
I started out in technical writing, and I took design classes too. I really wanted to be a designer, but when I graduated, it was a recession and there weren't jobs. So I took a technical writing job, and I just kind of volunteered. I got to know the people in the design team, and I volunteered to write specs.
You were frustrated about the products. Frustrating products are hard to describe.
Yes, I mean, that was another impetus for me to really move into design was I was writing user manuals for technology, and things were hard to explain. And it was just like, if they only labeled this more clearly, or if they only organized this in a different way, I could make it so easy to explain. And that definitely gave me the kick in the pants to move into design.
Thank you.
Yeah.